So, you guys, I have to be honest with you. I looked and looked and looked for inspiration and wasn't inspired. So, I'm going to do something I don't do very often, and I'm going to make up a scene. No guarantees what it's going to look like. I challenge you to do the same thing. But my whole point of this lesson is to show you how to make prairie grass. So, I'm going to start. If you want to tape off, I have an 8x10 taped off. That might be a little big for you if you're a beginner. You can do a 5x7 or whatever size you'd like. And I'm gonna start by doing a sky. So what I want to do is I want the prairie grass to be down low. I want most of the top of my painting to be a sky. And I feel like having it be kind of colorful, but in a moody, colorful, soft way. So I'm just gonna throw down something, some pinks, some purples and blues, real sporadic. I also would like you to practice learning how to be a little faster, and not faster as in rush, but faster because it looks a little better. I don't know, to keep a loose style going. And whatever you do for a sky, I promise you, you can't go wrong, because every sky out in the world has looked like something different every day. So whatever you paint, I promise, it has been in the sky before. I want to fade down here. I kind of want to keep some brightness. I also would like to get some orange in there. That probably got a little brighter than I wanted. And maybe some more blue. I just want to bring it down here. I'm going to leave a couple spots of white. I just like the way it looks. It makes it look like there are clouds, even if you're not directly painting them. I do like to have more detail in the sky, so I'm going to still put some more bright colors in there. It will dry lighter, so don't get too scared to do this. Nothing can go wrong. Ooh, that's a very moody, nice sky. I like it. I'm gonna bring it all the way down, real light. And then I'm gonna make my horizon line. And I feel like going kind of dark. So I'm gonna do a green. Actually, I'm gonna switch brushes here. I might seem a little disorganized today, and that's because I am. I am painting every day, among other things, and it's really hard to stay neat. I just cleaned my office space, or my desk, yesterday, and it's already a mess. All right, I kind of want to go with a really dark brownish green and see what happens. I'm going to let it go up a little bit into the sky, just a little bit. And I feel like that's too predictable. Let's see. I feel like I always put a path in the middle, trees on the left, and the trees on the right. And I don't want to do that this time. But here's the part I want to show you. If we're going to have tall grasses, we need to work backwards, okay? You can't add the light grasses that are in the foreground. You can't add them afterwards because you can't put light on top of dark. So what I'm going to do is get a really light tan, really light. Oh no, I dropped it on my sky and I loved my sky. Oh, maybe it was meant to be. So I'm gonna put a really light tan. It almost looks like a beach right now, doesn't it? Maybe that's what we should be doing. I'm gonna put a light tan down so that the lightest parts of my prairie grass are tan. I'm gonna dry this and come back on to show you what the next step is. Okay, I have it dry enough for now. I mainly wanted the bottom half done. If you can see here, look at those little accidents. They're not even accidents, but it was unplanned. And it almost looks like prairie grass in the background already. I think it's just beautiful. And now we're gonna fill it in. Even though it's tempting to stop here and make it a beach scene, I really wanna show you how to do prairie grass. And also, while you guys are painting, notice how fast I'm going. Notice how big my brush is. It's really good practice for us to do things like this, like almost like a child would do, because it really allows creativity because you're not stopping to think too hard. So if you can try this exercise once in a while, just create your own painting with no end result in mind, just pure fun. I really urge you to do that. Okay, I am not even mixing up any special colors. I'm just gonna go at it and do whatever. But here's what I wanna say for prairie grass, okay? I'm taking the tip of my brush and I'm just kind of going, as you can see, up, down, up, down, up, down. You will see the end result in quite a few steps, so don't get too antsy yet. Okay, now that's gonna be, these light spaces are the really light pieces of grass, and then these other ones will kind of be the medium. So now what you wanna do is kind of cut in behind them like this. It's kind of the same motions that you were doing before. I like to kind of change my colors up once in a while. But we're doing it more in the middle. Don't think too hard. And you know, vary the angle of the brush, vary where you're holding the brush, twist it once in a while so you don't get things that look the exact same, because that's not what we're going for here. And oh my gosh, if I drop green on my sky one more time, okay, well that is just a side effect of quick loose painting. Now I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna sweep across here like that. Okay, now we have kind of a meadow with these grasses in front, and we are not done. I just wanted to show you how to preserve those brighter grasses, because you're gonna see them up close. They're gonna be lighter and brighter. The sun hits them differently. I want a tree, the illusion of a tree to be here. I guess it's more than illusion. It actually looks like a tree. Maybe another one here. Taller one. I'm only doing some basic color mapping right now. I'm really not sure what I want to do. I am gonna give real light indications of some leaves on the tips of these trees. We can go in later and make things look a little better, but that's good for now. Here I go with my trees on the left and my trees on the right. One day I've got to come up with a new plan of attack. I don't know what I want this to be other than like some loose shrub. At this point, I would start putting some gold colors in here. Again, not too planned, okay? This is not what we're doing. And don't fill it in everywhere. The whole key is to not get detailed. That is what we're going for today. No detail. I think I want this field to be a little browner in spots, maybe a little more bright in other spots with some yellow. That looks nice. See if we can make it a little darker over here. Bring it down. I'm still not being careful. Don't be careful. This is not the careful kind of painting. Okay, we have a good base started. I think I want to work on some more trees. And I'm almost feeling like I want a larger tree. So be brave, be brave. I kind of want a tree that is a little higher up in the sky. Maybe something like this. I think so. I think that's what it was calling for. It was kind of bothering me. Okay, there. Hey, it's good to try things and see what happens because you might like them, right? How would you know otherwise? I love that. I do want to bring in a little element of fall, so I'm going to use my burnt sienna to make these leaves a little different color. I'm not getting enough on my brush. And if you see, I'm just using the side of my brush, doing that shaky old man hand. I'm not making actual clumps. I'm not making individual leaves. But I am rotating my brush in a different way so that I don't get the same little pattern all the time. I like that. Let's bring that out a little more, huh? Nice. Nice, nice. We can always go back in with a second layer when we need to. I'm not sure if this is part of the tree or not, or if it's two separate trees. We'll work out the details later. I like these background trees, but I think we're gonna need a few different kinds of trees. So I'm gonna use I'm gonna keep the same brush actually. And let's make an evergreen. Maybe right there. I'm just using the tip of my brush. You can see what I'm doing here. I like that. I would avoid, when you make an evergreen, avoid making a straight line down the middle. That looks too obvious. This one is even a little perfect and it's kind of bugging me, but we'll let it go and mess with it later. I was hoping for more of an orangey sky right here, so I'm gonna go in right now and add this little bit of orange. It's just a suggestion. It's really not even that obvious. It's just something that I wanted. Kind of blend it back up and then we're probably good. Okay. Let's go back to our prairie grass, and here's what I suggest doing. Bringing in more colors, a little bit of gold, maybe fading to a dirty green. We can still kind of do this up and down just to preserve that grass. We can go down a little bit every so often. Okay. I still want more gold here. Maybe a little gold on this tree. I really love fall, so that's what I would like to go for. My brush is kind of dry, which I like because it shows the trees looking a little more scratchy, a little more crispy leaves for fall. I like that. And then I'll do the same over here. So the yellow stuff, the yellow paint that I used was a raw sienna, and now I'm using burnt sienna to just add a little more fall element. And it looks like it's becoming the same tree. That's totally fine with me. I'm good with that. Might add some of the gold up on top. A few little leaves with the tip of my brush, nothing too detailed. Just making it up as I go, trusting that the paper already knows what it wants to be, and I'm just gonna let it out. We will eventually add some extreme darks in here. It's just not time. What I'd like to do with our grasses now is get a goldish color. Whoop, that's a little yellow, my bad. And just do a quick wash only towards the bottom. Try to leave the tops the color that they are. Okay, it looks good. Now we're gonna dip into some purpley blue, and I'm just gonna every so often do a little zigzag. Kind of want more purple. Just to look like there are some dark spots in between these grasses, because there will be. Kind of a dry brush here. And now I think I really want to start making it look prairie-ish. I'm using pretty dark colors here. Payne's gray, green, and some brown. Rotating the angle so some grasses look like they're going left, some straight up, some right, some short, some long. Try not to be too predictable in your pattern. That is when being fast is a benefit. All right, and we are gonna just kind of go like this, leaving some of the grasses as they are. I want it to be darker, closer to the grass, lighter at the top of our field, like that. It's a little too straight there. Let's fix that. Leave these little spots. It looks good. It looks believable. You can put some lines in if you want. We'll do more later. I think that is so pretty. I want to do the tree trunks now. I'm ready to go dark, real dark. How dark? Real dark. Just an illusion. I'm not going to get carried away with big, thick branches or I will regret it. I am using Payne's gray. I love how inky it is. Sometimes I like to add a little branch that stuck out here. Maybe one up there. Oops. Maybe there's one this way. There. Looks good, looks good. I want to do more here, but hey, our grass looks good. And that was the point of this whole lesson. That looks really good, even though we're not done yet. Now, what do we have going here? We have something, but it's not something enough. So, hey, let's make it more. Let's see, a little purple here. So it looks like there's something else growing. Whoa. Does your hand ever do that? Sometimes it just like goes off on its own. It's like, whoa, stop. I do like a little color in my backgrounds. I love purples and blues in places that you might not expect to see them. Nature isn't just green and brown. And skies aren't the only things that are blue. I'm making this tree just a little taller, a little more presence. I'm going to leave the bottom here so it looks like there's some grasses growing in front of that tree. That looks way better. Don't feel you need to go right up here. All that empty space lets the viewer imagine what that might be. This is looking good. And even if it's not, it's fun. Now I'm starting to add a little dimension to these trees, make it look like there's clumps. I am going to get kind of a dry brush with Payne's Gray and kind of dirty up this background a little more. Just rough it up. Drag my brush across just a couple spots. I would never recommend doing the same thing everywhere or it loses its impact. So we're going for just little sweeps, and that's all it needs. While I was blow drying, a voice called out in my head that we need a tree here that doesn't have any leaves. So let's make a few believable trees that didn't make it through the winter. Kind of hard to do with this brush, but I also like it, so I'm going to do it. And besides, I'm pretty sure it looks like a tree. A few sticks. That's what we could use. A couple sticks around here. I don't know what I want to do with this one. I really don't. I'm just not sure. But I do know we need some more extreme darks besides just those tree trunks. So let's add every so often something like that to kind of anchor I like that. I might even just take a wet brush and sweep across the top so it pulls up a little bit. See what happens there. Not everywhere, just in a couple places I did. Oh, well, that looks good. Looks really good. I had no idea what that was going to turn out like. Lesson there, you know. Try things, everybody. Try things. Why do I still want purple somewhere? I don't know. Maybe I think there needs to be more in the background, but yet there is no real place for it. What to do, what to do. You guys are totally watching me flub my way through this in effort to teach you to try things. I don't know what it needs. What is it? Is that, maybe it's got a couple leaves on it? I don't know why I felt like putting purple there. I don't know. But hey, we'll let the viewer's eye decide what's going on with that tree. Meanwhile, let's put a mat on it and see what it's looking like. This usually helps me see what it might need. Stand back and look at it. It doesn't need much. I have an idea. I want the black in here to be darker to make sure I don't have a painting full of middle tones, because that would be boring. That's a little better. And I want to put a few more details on this tree. And I think that's all before I do the last part of the prairie grass. I don't know what I want to do here. So I'm going to take a very dry brush, jab it into my burnt sienna, and just start to see what would happen if I made a few little leaves. I'm not saying I'm going to like it, but I am saying I'm going to try it. I wonder if this is what Bob Ross felt like, just talking into the air. Maybe that's what made him so relaxing. He made everything seem possible because he just didn't look stressed. That's my goal. I'm going to add some darker colors to underneath the tree because it's always going to be darker at the bottom. Pull it up a little bit. Do the same here. And the same under this one. Whoop, that got a little dark. Bring it up a little bit. This might be one of those paintings where I think, ooh, I should have stopped about a half hour ago because it looked good back then. I like that. I like it. And I don't think this tree needs anything, but I still am not getting enough purple out of this painting. So I do have to, I'm sorry guys, I had to put purple on here. Can't stand it. The voice in my head is getting louder the more I ignore it. Nice. Oh, what? More purple? Okay. Right there? Okay. I assure you guys, I am not crazy. Okay, I'm not liking how these two are the same height. So let's change that up and add a couple years of growth to this tree. Or something. We're gonna add something. It's hard for me to see with this glare. Yeah, there. I like it. I'm gonna dry it and then I'll show you what else we're doing. The only thing I want to add with this tree is a little bit of trunk, but I'm not going to do it as dark because I don't want it to be as prevalent. I'm just going to kind of take a couple little marks like this. So it looks like there is one in there, and that's it. Okay, here's what I want to do. I need to get a piece of paper first. And I'm going to cover up the top half and just leave my prairie grass area. Then I'm going to grab a toothbrush that is only used for painting. I'm going to get it wet, dip it in a really dark color. Mine's Payne's Gray because I still haven't filled up my black. Gonna do a practice swish. There we go. It looks good. So I'm gonna do that just in a couple of spots. Just flick some paint, give it some interest. That's probably enough for there. I'm also going to do it on a little part of the tree, but I'm gonna protect the sky. Very good. And I think I'll do it on this tree, but protect the sky. Cool. That's what I want to do. I think it's time to take the tape off and see what it looks like. Make sure my hands are clean. And that is how you do prairie grass and everything else. Let's see what it looks like. What do you think? I hope you like this one. I hope you are brave enough to just try making your own landscape or anything. It can be, try something modern, try abstracts and shapes and hard lines if you want. Loose painting comes more difficult for me, so that's why I did this. And every time I do, I am glad that I did it. Please leave a comment below, like the video, let me know what you think. Anything else that you want to see me paint or teach, I will. Otherwise, go to my website, slarsonwatercolors.com, and check out the online classes that I offer. They're very fun, just like this. Most of them are easier, but a great community of people who are all learning to paint watercolor together. Thank you for watching.